flipping a bird, the bird is a word. I'm flipping a bird, the bird is a word. I'm flipping that bird, that police and nerves. I think outside the back.
We went up to Pittsburgh and did what Baltimore usually does in Pittsburgh. Losses.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You say I'll make
right
you act
there.
like that.
I thought we was the good birds, Scott.
It was right there. It was right there. My bad. I'm sorry. All right, let me redo that. Baltimore Orioles go to Pittsburgh, drop 2 out of 3 to the Pirates. 2 of the losses came on walk-offs, 1 in extras. This, I know it's early, but this was a bad series loss. There's no other way to slice this. That was a bad loss. Yeah,
I mean, what I take is just that we talked about it on Friday about the bats. Hayes, Urias, Mateo. Nobody's really hitting right now. I mean, even the Gunner of the worlds, and Mountcastle had a decent series. Santander, lead the team in home runs and RBIs, but he's batting like 206 or something, 205. So it's coming in spurts. But you win game 1, and then you waste. Tyler Wall started off rocky, but he still only gave up 3 runs. Mm-hmm. So that's games that you want to win. We talked about last time when you say he only gave 3 runs. He struggled early, but he finished what he had to do. And then you definitely waste Creamer's start yesterday. Like, he was amazing. I think he could have went longer than 8. If he would, and he wouldn't have gave up no runs if he wouldn't have threw the ball away. Even though I think that was more so Mateo than him. That's my opinion. But just you wasting good pitching. You wasting pitching. The bats got to get going. I think it's more so Hayes. More so Hyde. Get Hayes off the lineup. Like, if he's not hitting, he does need to play. And that's how I feel. I don't know what, Kauser he's a good defensive player. He can hold his own out there in left field. He can do what he need to do out there. San Diego Muller's not hitting. He might hit a home run here and there. It's just, I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know what it is, but they are not hitting. It's like they can't string together hits. They still not hitting the ball around as a scoring position. And, hopefully the pitching holds. To the bats wake up. Hopefully they wake up very soon. Hopefully it gets warmer sooner than later. But that's the biggest takeaway. You just wasting. You can't waste good pitching, man. Like that's bad to waste good pitching. It showed. Yesterday it shows why I guess Cano didn't get the closer spot because he struggled. He struggled mightily in that spot. Like you said, just we talked about in the chat. We talked about it's just a bad. It's a serious loss. Well, you probably could have swept them. You could have easily swept them. It could have easily been 3-0 Orioles, but now you go in there, you lose 2 or 3 in late innings. Move on. Let's put it behind. Move on. You just hope that the bats can wake up. That's the biggest thing. These guys got to start hitting, and I think it comes with just being patient. Take away the 3-0 or the 3-1 swing, and I know you like the 3-0 because they got to throw you something. So, but at this point, you got to try to get on base. You got to get on base, maybe that wake you up or something. Mountcastle swinging at 3-1 pops it up. Like I just don't. Hayes get up a 3-0 count and then a 3-2, a 3-1 ball you ground into a double play. It don't make sense. Just keep taking pitches. If you're not hitting, get on base. At this point, you got to do what you got to do to help the team. I think everybody's every player is trying to break out the slump at the same time, and it's not conducive. It's looking bad offensively, real bad.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great recap. I agree wholeheartedly. We are a couple of plays away from being 7-2. But the way baseball works, when you don't play 9 innings of baseball, or you don't do what you need to do in extra innings, 7-2 can quickly turn into 5-4. And we started 5-4 last year as well. One thing I do want to caution though is continuing to harken back to last year. Last year's vibes and last year's magic is last year's vibes and magic. This year you got to create new vibes, right? After scoring 24 runs on our first 2 games, we've tallied 23 runs in 7 games since. So that just goes to show you, how we came out, and versus how it's gone for the majority of the time since how we came out. That's only an average of 3.2 runs per game. That's not gonna get it done, especially given that we've had some exceptional starting pitching. Saturday's loss, we went 4 for 37 hitting and 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position. And we faced a left-hander on Saturday and faced another lefty on Sunday. Brandon Hyde, the great Brandon Hyde, decided to send the exact same batting order on Sunday that he had on Saturday, expecting to get different results. And And, Marco Gonzalez went out there, and the Pirates bullpen combined to retire 13 of the final 14 Orioles faced. Only scoring, 2 runs yesterday as well. So, again, I don't see the adjustments day to day, game to game. That's kind of disheartening with all of the flexibility we have, whether it's on, in the majors or the minors. We have a lot of ways in which we can mix and match pieces. We have a lot of talent that sits on the bench consistently. We have a lot of talent that's in AAA. And for our starters to go 3-3 in a week in which they posted a 2.78 ERA,
it's ridiculous.
That's pretty much kind of ridiculous. You can't ask for better.
It's a great stat. Better
statistics and better starting pitching, especially you down to theoretically you're down 2 starting pitchers, so you getting this production. We went 3-3 as a whole with the starting ERA of 2.78. And in that time, 40 we've gone 40 out of 201 at the plate. So that's an average of 199 at the plate, and then runners in score position 8 for 47, which is 170. So that's within that 3-3 span. That's not going to get it done, especially when you have people like Heston Kjerstad with named minor league player of the week with 6 home runs, 21 RBIs, and 33 total bases. Like it's ways in which you can bring up sparks, bring up some energy. If our regular guys need some motivation, hey, you know what I mean? Bring up some motivation. Let's see what Kowser can do against left-hand hitter. Let's see what he can do in a string of starts, not just one start out of nowhere. Give him a couple starts. Austin Hayes. It's not like Austin Hayes is just killing it out there.
He can't hit the ball out of the infield. Like he's just struggling. How did they get better?
Hayes and Mullins are a combined 6 for 54. Like that's bad.
And the thing with Hayes, he's not even hitting it hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not. He can't get off the infield. He can't get off the infield.
He's not even hitting it hard.
He's not sending the ball well at all.
And Gunnar went 0 for 4 with 3 Ks against a lefty yesterday, and he's been struggling a little bit. But I like the fact that instead of trying to quote unquote protect him, we're letting one of the game's best players just figure it out. Just let him figure it out. How else am I going to get better if I don't fail? You know what I mean? Like the greats fail, and then they make adjustments to that failure. They learn from that failure, and they get better from it. That's what you got to do. You got to let these young players play. Because you can be a veteran, right fielder and fail, just as much as a second year player. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's he come from that Joe Madden line, that analytic crap. I never understood the lefties can't face lefties. Righties face righties all the time. It don't make sense. Like literally, righties face righties all the time. I don't get it. Like how is Kyle's, like, to your point, how is Kyle's going to learn? How he's going to get better if he's not facing left-hand batters? And I think he's above. I think he's better than Hayes at this point. That's my opinion. So put him in there and let him play. That's the only way he can learn.
I mean, he's only had 11 at bats this season. You got to get him. Right. You got to get him reps.
Yeah,
like he got to get reps.
I mean, and even in those 11 at bats, he's hitting 455. He's earned it. In those 11 at bats, he made the most out of them.
I'm all for production leading to opportunity, right? So if you wanted to say that the vets get the first crack at this, by all means, I get it. As a veteran, I guess you've earned that spot on the totem pole. But if we batting under 100, man, we batting over 80, like 0.80, like are we being for real?
Right. Not only that, we talked about in the beginning of the season, your schedule not going to get no more lighter than this to start it off. Like these games you should be taking advantage of. So like you said, 7-2, and now you're staring at 5-4. You going against a Red Sox team that started off hot, and they started off out west. And they like 7-3 right now. So
they got the best. The Red Sox got the best ERA in the league. Their starters got the best ERA in the league. So it's not going to be. But
what y'all think about the bullpen blowing 3 saves out of 9?
Oh, we knew that was going to be out till Achilles heel.
Yeah, we've been saying that. We need some arms out there. We definitely need some arms out there, man. I mean, I like the pieces that we have, but we need way more pieces than what we have. Like Aiken and Danny Coleman. Like, they cool. Yeah, they cool. Like they cool in April and May, but when they against the Hawks in September, that's not who you want to come in a 3-3 game with a man on second, in the top of the 7 for bottom 8. That's not what you want. You don't want to see Aiken come out the bullpen, or you don't want to see, that's not what you want.
No disrespect to Danny, because he's been good. But if he's our best, we got a problem.
He's good for if the start. I feel like those type of pitchers need to be used where if the starter run into problems, you're bringing them in 4, 5, 6 innings. But when they get to the shutdown innings, you need to Nick point earlier. You need an Andrew Miller. You need players like that. Like that's the type of players you need. You need a Aroldis Chapman, a bat Aroldis Chapman that's going to come in. Old Craig Kimbrel. So we're just that bullpen not going to cut it.
Think of some of these names. Like you got Jacob Webb, Keegan Aiken, Jonathan Heasley. You got Craig Kimbrel, who he's the most trustworthy name that I'm probably going to name. Dylan Tate, Mike Baumann, Colombe's pitched well, Perez has pitched well, but even then, you know what I mean. Actually, Perez hasn't pitched that well.
I'm about to say Perez blew my parlay. I'm good on him and Baumann.
He has not.
Baumann need to be sent down if he got any options because he's struggling. He's struggling big time.
He's stuck with him. He's either on the roster or we just straight up release him.
We need to make a decision.
Yeah,
because I think we have enough organizational depth to where if we got some of it, we're still rich, right? Like we're Bill Gates. We could donate $1 billion to feed hunger, right? But we still rich. We still all right. Yeah. That's how our farm system is. Either we're gonna have to figure out to get rid of some vets to make room for these young studs, or some of the young studs that just don't fit long term. We're gonna have to package them up and get something to bring us some assistance. Because the reason why we're so adamant about this, because this does have the makings of a team that can compete. You know what I mean? We have everything that we need, whether it's in AAA or the major leagues. We just gotta mix and match a little better, in my opinion.
But being 20, I saw a stat. We 29th in the MLB in on base percentage. 274. That's not going to cut it.
Terrible.
Like, especially when you look at you look down on the farm and those guys, they putting up 10 runs in the inning. I think they need a spark. They need a spark soon. Like if you go into this Boston series and you lose 2 out of 3 again, you're gonna have to start really looking at yourself in the mirror because you don't want this division to get away from you early. The Yankees look as advertised.
And that's without Garco.
And that's without this.
And all the
struggling.
And all the vets,
and Aaron Judge struggling.
With all the vets that are playing over some of the young guys. I mean, you just look at the Urias of the world hitting 059. Tony Kemp, who's hitless in 6 at bats. Austin Hayes, 077, 2 hits and 26 at bats. 3 walks in those at bats as well. It's just like
Sco said, Colton hitting 455, and he's got the second least amount of at bats on the team.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
That don't make no sense.
The only adjustment Hyde has made is if Hayes and Westberg in the lineup at the same time, Westberg is batting above Hayes. And that's the thing. If you got to keep on dropping Hayes down the lineup, get him out the lineup. Because at this point, I don't want to see Austin Hayes batting 8 for 9. He can't do anything down there.
If you go to Hayes after the All-Star break last year to the beginning of the season, like what is he like?
He's done nothing.
He's nothing.
Kaiser has 1 less hit than Hayes and Mateo combined, and they have
54 at bats combined. Yeah, and he got 11.
It's nasty, bro.
Yeah, I mean the whole line.
Yeah, Urias, Hayes, and Mateo. That's disgusting. I mean,
outside of Mountcastle and Adley, everybody's hovering around the Mendoza line or barely over it. That's not gonna get it done. And I know it's early, but it's other teams out here raking. And when you come into a season after winning 101 with the thoughts of winning the division, making a deep playoff run, these games count. These games matter.
It's just how they look. It's just it's not like teams come out. I feel like we've beaten ourselves.
Yeah, we're not losing 10-7.
I don't mind. I don't mind Gunners or Santander's struggles because they have pedigree and they have a history that I can trust. Hayes doesn't have a history that I can trust. He'll start off scorching hot and then fade.
Right.
Get sick.
Right.
So am I expecting good Hayes like the latter
in the second half? Right. Yeah. Is he flipping this? I don't want to wait to find out.
Give me both.
I don't want to wait to find out, especially because you're not going to re-sign him. So now he done messed up the draft stock. Because remember, he done messed up the trade stock. My fault. I came in here before the season started. Get rid of him now, and you can leverage this all-star that he has.
Like if you're gonna bring in Tony Kemp, you could kept Butts with Ryan McKenna. Like at least I'd see Ryan McKenna get hits and shit. Like you feel me? Like I
He's
see.
the evil we know, right?
We got Tony Kemp. Are you serious? Like Tony Kemp is trash.
Could have kept Frazier or something.
For real. Like if you need a left-handed bat off the bench, you could have did something else than Tony Kemp. Like that's a slap in our face right there.
Because the Reds didn't want him. No disrespect to the Reds, but if they don't want him, why should we?
Yeah, these are too many wasted at bats.
Yeah.
I'm cool with Jordan Westburg because we've seen him.
Gotta learn.
We've seen him be productive in clutch moments, and I'm cool with a young player's struggles versus a Urias, who's just. I mean, this is a veteran that's starting off, and like, come on,
he
man.
got 1 hit in 7 games. Like, get him out of here. Like, what are we talking about? His glove is.
It's irritating.
He made the play at home the other day. He got a good glove, but you got to be able to put the bat on the ball.
Free up that DH. Free up that right field. Like there's ways in which we can mix and match a lot better.
I wish we could free up the DH, but it seems like McCann is out starting catcher over Adley. What the hell are we doing?
That's right. That's why. We can maybe give it to maybe the end of April, another 2 weeks or so. But we're gonna have to start talking about high like this. We gave him a pass last year because he started winning all them games. And the lineups is working, but it's not working right now.
Nah.
You gotta get in Elias there, but we need better lineups. McCann and Allen shouldn't be in the same lineup at the same time.
No,
I saw somebody on Twitter say,
for what? Like for
his days off. I'm looking like, yo, why?
Who is McCann? I get a spot start every once in a while, but
I saw somebody on Twitter say they thought Adley took a shot, like a foul tip shot a couple games ago, and they think that's why McCann been playing and Adley he may be.
I saw that.
That may be part of it, but I'm not too
he
sure.
I
agree, though. They both shouldn't be in the lineup.
Tell me something then. If he hurt, let me know.
He good enough to hit, though. I mean, maybe not crouching over, but,
crouching for 9 innings.
But he hitting 313.
Can't take that bet out the lineup. I get it, but.
Yeah.
No, you putting the bet on him and Mountcastle. Mountcastle was hitting that ball yesterday.
He ain't that damn hurt.
I don't want to see
what's the
more than I have to.
Shit.
What's the preview for this upcoming series against Boston?
What's the pitcher? Who pitches first?
Bello, Pavetta, and Crawford. That's who we facing.
Who we got? Who was our line?
Burns, Urban, and Rodriguez.
So Burns starting game 1. I guess with the day off.
Burns starting game 1.
Okay.
Burns first, Bello tomorrow.
Yeah, Urban, Pavetta, Rodriguez, Crawford.
And we haven't met since Gunner's second start, but we wanted to see how he would start. He's starting like ace. He's really confident.
Yes.
I think we was on Friday talking about it a little bit. We was on like in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Friday show.
Yeah.
But he pitched another gem.
Can't waste another series of good pitching. This division now.
I like our front four. I'm not the biggest Irvin fan, but I like Kremer in the 4 spot where he doesn't have to be relied upon, but so much. I think that's a good spot for him, 4th or 5th. We get Bradish and Means, whoever gets healthier first, whoever looks like they can actually be of use first. Because Means, we'll see how that goes.
Bradish might beat him out.
Yeah. One arm, like half an arm and all. Like
half an arm and all. You might beat him out. Yeah, we can't waste another series of good pitching. Them bats have to get hot.
Is Boston playing well?
Yeah, they 7-3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the thing about the Orioles always play good at Fenway. That's another thing. They at least they play well up there. We tend to play Boston very well in Boston. Well, lately anyway, since Buck been here. Since Buck was here. But it's just I think about what I think about the Orioles pitchers. None of them they get to 2 strikes and they can't put batters away. I see other teams they gotta it's besides Burns and maybe Grayson. They don't have no put away pitchers. Like they get the 0-2. The next thing you know, it's a 3-2 count. The next thing you know, they walking them. I just don't get it. Like you got to have a put away pitch, man. You got to be able to make it look like a strike, but it's a ball. The Orioles pitchers just all their balls look like balls.
So, it's no deception. It's no deception. But that comes with coaching. That comes with coaching. Like you got to have a philosophy going into these games, and one you got to know what's working. It's kind of tough. McCann is the catcher. That's the problem. That's the problem. Your man is at DH. The catcher calls the game. If not, they getting calls from the bench and he landed to the catcher. That's the issue right there. But whatever's working for these pitchers, you gotta go to it. If I'm saying a hitter can't hit my slider, throw it again until he can hit it. You can't hit the fastball that day, throw it again. Don't waste. Don't waste. Don't try to fool them. Just go with what works. It's early. I'm not ringing the alarm, but it is frustrating because we highlighted going into the season. Yo, April should be easy on paper. Pittsburgh wasn't impressive. That was
No,
us.
they hit a struggle pretty. That
That was us.
Reynolds and Hayes, they struggled for most of the series, if not all of the series. They had a few in there, but I don't even know if Rowdy Tellez had a damn hit the whole series. Maybe one. But they took advantage of their pitching. Their pitching was good, right. And they took advantage. That's only they took advantage of their pitching. They got the timely hits.
I'll give them a little kudos. I mean, 8-2, 3 series wins to start the season. Yeah. They've been pretty consistent in that regard. I just believe that like he said, regardless of how well that they've been playing, I mean, we had an opportunity to win 2 out of 3, and they didn't play their best versus us. We didn't either, but they didn't play their best. So in those situations where the other team doesn't play their best, we got to capitalize.
Want to speak real quick. It's been an uptick in UCL injuries. A lot of aces going down. A lot of Shane Bieber just went down for the year. Atlanta, Spencer Strider might be potentially going out for some time. And there's been a lot of talk about the cause of these UCL injuries, and it's a lot leaning on the pitch clock.
They cut it down by 2 seconds or 3 seconds? It went from 20 to something, right? They cut it down. I know they got shorter time to get the ball to the plate now.
Yeah, it's a shorter time. The pitch clock was instituted to get these games going because, I mean, you got baseball games that was lasting 5-6 hours, and I understood that point. But if we're going to go in here and y'all going to be Roger Goodell and not care about, player safety, now it's an issue. And the thing about baseball, their players association, they will address some shit. Like, they'll sit down for a cause. But you can be proactive and say, all right, we'll meet you halfway. We'll just give you a little bit more time. Because we rushing y'all. Added to the other stuff. Other
Major League Baseball countered and said that the first year that it was instituted, there actually was a decline in UCL injuries. They're pointing to analytics where teams are looking at, spreadsheets and stats as far as max effort pitches and throwing those type of max effort pitches repeatedly. You know what I mean? Instead of learning how to be a pitcher, you're asking people to be throwers. You're asking people to get up over 100 consistently. We used to care about changing speeds and breaking balls.
Yeah, that's a major factor too. I think all of it is at play. You got arm angles. Look, throwing a baseball is not the natural motion of your shoulder to begin with. So it's a ticking time bomb as is. But like Nick just said, when we were growing up, if it was a specialty,
Nolan Ryan,
his
arm never fell off. Okay,
right, and they had different arm angles, but not too many people.
Maddox and them ain't get hurt, man. Maddox and them was pitching every year.
Maddox top speed was 93, all location. As a pitcher, now you just be a flamethrower.
It's an interesting talk because in the NFL we have the same talk with ACL injuries. In basketball we have the same talk with ACLs and Achilles. In baseball we're talking about the UCL. We've seen over the generations that Michael Jordans of the world, right? Even in football, like you don't see as many catastrophic injuries that you used to see in the past. I mean, that you see now that you saw in the past. What could that be? Is it players is it the training? Is it the training regimens? Is it, the sheer amount that we're playing versus before, even though we're playing the same amount of games, you know what I mean? Is it what is so many different factors? The only thing that's changed is the time and the generations. It's kind of hard to pinpoint it, but we've seen it across sports, how things have kind of degenerated as far as a health conversation.
Ozzie Gann, he was talking about because Luis Robert Jr., he pulled a hammy just running the bases. So kind of unrelated but related. He said, "Yo, these dudes work out too much. They not."
Back in the day, it was eating cheese sticks and drinking beer before the game. Right?
David Wells. I'm looking at
hurt.
You look at David Wells. You look at all those guys. Like nobody was cut. Like these guys didn't look like superheroes. But
baseball players back in the day, they definitely was. They definitely looked out of shape. They definitely looked out of shape.
We just brought up Greg Maddux. He looked like a computer technician.
Mm-hmm.
He was a dog. Like it might be something to that. You got these guys is playing year round. They're playing year round, starting from little league now. It is no days off. These guys are throwing 12 to 6 curveballs at 15. It's and they would stop you from doing that when I was growing up. Like it was a limit. Like, yo, all right, stop that.
And that's what I was going to ask. Like we see, like the athletes become adults and become professionals. Mm-hmm. Does the over usage of the body start in youth sports, right? Like because that's become a year round thing too, right? Not saying that it wasn't always was, but I don't think it was like what it is now. Because you got brands involved, you got, there's so much money involved in this nowadays that it's a little different. It's a little different way in which you approach things nowadays. Plus, there's so many different trainers and development coaches. Right. It goes into a lot. It's a very interesting conversation.
I just had this conversation earlier with somebody.
And to your point, it's funny how you said all the trainers. Some people don't know what they don't. I was listening to something about Christian McCaffrey, how what Ed was doing with them, like he wouldn't let them look at the sun certain time because it's wasted energy. He would cut holes in their jeans when they walk all his son's jeans because he wanted them to have the most knee extension flexion they can get. Just no waste of energy. So it's like it's different. I guess if somebody been in the game, somebody is not like you see why Christian was ashamed. You can't look at the sun. He said up until he was like in like 10th, 11th grade, his bedtime was 7:30 every single night. Like this maximize and that's the thing they probably not recovering the way they should be.
Say he was getting pulled out of school just to get IVs to hydrate.
Liquid IVs almost every day. Getting liquid IVs almost every day. So that shit was crazy. It was a good. I forgot what I got to find it, but it was definitely some, like when I was cracking up when he said he was cutting slits in the jeans, and then people wouldn't let him wear. He wouldn't even let him wear jeans. Like, do you think he basically said they be too tight on your legs, too tight on your muscles? You can't wear jeans.
But back to what?
Go ahead,
Nick. No, I was gonna say back to what you said. I was having this conversation earlier. Like when we was in high school, like that was kind of the beginning of like sports performance training, like doing stuff outside of the game to increase your agility, increase your speed. Like you didn't see that back in the day, but now literally every kid got a personal trainer. Every kid is playing some sort of grassroots where they playing outside of high school. They probably playing 100+ games additionally to add in the grassroots. So I agree. Like the usage is a whole lot more than you used to would have saw. You saw a lot more multi-sport athletes back in the day too. You going from football to basketball to baseball. Now it's
different muscles too.
Yeah, exactly. Different muscle groups. So you're not overworking something. But when you're in basketball 24/7, why you think LeBron and them dudes need breaks? Like that's a lot of usage on your knees, your arm for baseball. So I think youth sports does play into it.
And word to Keith, it's a lot of false prophets out here. A lot of these trainers don't know what the fuck they doing.
That too.
They don't know what they doing, and they robbing these parents because at a certain age, it has to become a job. If you want to get to where you need to be, it has to be a job. So at 11, 12, they getting you a trainer. And how can you vet a trainer? You can't. Unless you played, that's the only way. Other than that, you looking at the Instagram. If the Instagram look good and they do a good job at making that Instagram look good, they got a nice facility. But you can have the nicest facility in the world. If you got these dudes doing unnecessary,
you say 11, 12 school, people weren't getting trainers till high school back in the day.
Oh yeah,
like who had money to get for you to be going to a trainer at 11 in middle school? Like I'm taking you out to work out. I'm gonna take you out and work out with you at the field. Right. Like I'm your trainer.
Now they got you doing these unnecessary workouts with all these elastic bands.
A lot of JUCO kids with D1 aspirations, man. JUCO talent with D1 aspirations.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Very
good talk. Yeah. Good talk. We're gonna go to the first commercial break. Nitty Gritty. Hey, yo, Nitty Gritty Sports Talk is now on YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And while you at it, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Name the same across all platforms. Nitty Gritty Sports Talk. 3 Ravens and a Steeler. Now let's get back to the show.